Undocumented Immigrants Protected from Deportation? If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. President Donald Trump has reignited a heated national debate with a surprising new pivot on immigration policy, a focus on deporting only undocumented immigrants with criminal records. While this represents a notable shift in rhetoric from earlier hardline approaches, the practical realities are murkier and far more complex than a headline suggests. Setting the context, Trump's immigration playbook. Immigration has remained a centerpiece of Trump's political identity, both during his first presidency and his current term, that began in January 2025. From the construction of the border wall to the aggressive expansion of ICE operations, his administration has made immigration enforcement synonymous with public safety. But in recent months, Trump's messaging has evolved. Posts circulating on X, formerly Twitter, and reports from conservative media outlets suggest that the administration now intends to halt deportations for undocumented individuals without criminal convictions. This apparent reversal has sparked confusion and concern. What the policy actually says. Despite online claims, there is no official executive order that explicitly protects all non-criminal undocumented immigrants from deportation. The Department of Homeland Security and Immigration and Customs Enforcement have publicly maintained that their enforcement priority is on individuals with serious criminal offenses. For example, a June 2025 ICE report revealed that during Trump's first 100 days in office, over 65,000 undocumented immigrants were arrested, many for crimes such as assault, illegal possession of firearms, or gang activity. On paper, this aligns with Trump's campaign pledge to deport the worst of the worst. A policy in practice, or just a talking point. Here's where the issue becomes more complicated. Data from Los Angeles, New York, and other sanctuary cities shows that nearly 60% of ICE arrests in June 2025 involved individuals with no prior convictions or charges. This stark contrast between policy language and enforcement practice suggests that ICE agents are still detaining undocumented immigrants indiscriminately, possibly to meet internal quotas or send a political message. According to DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLachlan, as quoted in ABC News in July 2025, ICE prioritizes violent offenders. Yet immigration experts like John Sandweg point to the administration's demand for high arrest numbers as a driving force behind the broader sweep. Impact on undocumented immigrants. For the estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S., this ambiguity offers no real assurance of safety. While some hope the administration is softening, the stories on the ground tell a different story. To make matters worse, raids in sensitive locations like hospitals, schools, and places of worship once off limits have resumed since policy changes in January 2025. This has driven many undocumented individuals into the shadows, avoiding medical care, education, and public services. Economic fallout and industry pushback. Beyond humanitarian concerns, there's an undeniable economic angle. Undocumented immigrants form the backbone of industries like agriculture, hospitality, and construction. A June 2025 New York Times report revealed that Trump temporarily paused farm raids after agricultural lobbyists warned of potential food shortages and rising prices. Should deportations ramp up without regard to criminal history, the U.S. could face labor shortages, increased consumer costs, and slower growth in key sectors. Even conservative economists acknowledge the risk to economic stability. Legal and ethical dilemmas. Legally, Trump's strategy is already under fire. Civil rights groups like the ACLU argue that mass detentions and deportations of non-criminals may violate constitutional protections, including due process rights. Cases like the attempted deportation of Venezuelans under the Alien Enemies Act, despite no ties to criminal groups, have already sparked legal battles and nationwide protests. Ethically, the question looms. Is it just to deport someone who's lived in the U.S. for decades, raised a family, paid taxes, and built a life simply due to their legal status? What's next for immigration under Trump? According to an April 2025 Migration Policy Institute report, the Trump administration aims to deport 1 million undocumented immigrants annually. However, by July 2025, Only 253,000 deportations have been carried out, citing court delays, limited IC resources, and international resistance, with countries like Colombia refusing to accept deportation flights. As this evolving policy unfolds, its real-world implications will continue to ripple across communities, courts, and the Capitol. With immigration likely to be a key issue in the 2026 midterm elections, Trump's approach, whether seen as practical, punitive, or political, will remain under intense scrutiny from all sides. U.S. workers say Trump's immigration crackdown is causing labor shortages, a strain on everybody. Donald Trump's aggressive immigration crackdown is sending shockwaves through American industries, especially manufacturing, by targeting over 1 million immigrants for loss of legal status. Factories in states like Kentucky and Michigan are already experiencing the consequences. The shutdown of the Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, parole program, and the increase in immigration arrests are leading to mass layoffs of experienced immigrant workers, causing significant labor shortages. At GE Appliances in Louisville, over 125 workers were abruptly removed, disrupting production and overburdening remaining staff. Kraft Heinz workers in Michigan are being forced into long overtime hours, with some operating multiple machines raising serious safety concerns. Union leaders warn that more workers face termination in early 2025, threatening economic stability in affected communities. Economists forecast dire consequences. Deporting millions of immigrants could cost the U.S. up to 6 million jobs and slash GDP by as much as $94 billion annually. Industries including construction, hospitality, food production, and elder care are under strain, with immigrant and native-born workers alike feeling the pressure. While the Trump administration defends its policies as efforts to protect American jobs, labor leaders argue they are tearing apart families, communities, and the workforce. Calls for unity across sectors are growing as workers emphasize shared values of safety, fair wages, and job security. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Undocumented immigrants protected from deportation. President Trump has introduced a controversial shift in immigration policy, emphasizing deportation only for undocumented immigrants with criminal records. However, actual enforcement tells a different story. Despite the absence of a formal executive order, ICE continues widespread detention, including of individuals without a prior conviction, raising concern about internal arrest quotas and political motives. In cities like Los Angeles and New York, up to 60% of arrests involve non-criminals. While officials claim the focus is on violent offenders, raids on schools, hospitals, and places of worship have resumed, spreading fear among the undocumented population. Economically, the crackdown is straining industries reliant on immigrant labor. Manufacturing plants in Kentucky and Michigan report production issues and layoffs, with some predicting losses of up to 6 million jobs and $94 billion in GDP. Civil rights groups challenge the legality and ethics of the policy, warning of due process violation as deportation ramp up. The issue is poised to dominate political discourse leading into the 2026 midterms.